start with the basics, and we'll kind of go into a little bit more intermediate stuff, and then you can feel free to ask me questions, and we'll have a couple of minutes at the end too. So whether you have your own business or you work for a corporation that provides you a website, I believe that these are some things that you really ought to know. So what is a website? So first of all, we want to have a domain name. So, joeplumberchicago.com, right? So that's, let's say, a domain name. So that's your address online. Just like you have an office address, that's your address online. How do you get that? So in order to get that domain name, you go to, there are various companies that provide that service. You can go to GoDaddy, HostGator, and buy the domain name for the year. Now once you have the domain name, then you want to connect that to what we call hosting. Hosting is just basically a computer that stays open and on 24/7. So you want to make sure that you have some kind of hosting. Again, there's HostGator, GoDaddy, you can get the hosting. Once you have the domain name and hosting, you connect the two, you have your website. You can do the website yourself or hire somebody to do it. But what I want to talk to you about today is, what are some of the things that you should consider when you have a website? Okay, so if you're lucky enough for visitors to come and look at your website, you have, research says 2 to 4 seconds before they may move on to something else. As we all know, attention span is very, very short these days. So in order to maximize that 2 to 4 second, what can we do? Well, we need to have a clear and precise message and what we call a call to action, right? So if you're a plumber, you want to get a clear message like, we fix XYZ, right? If you're in trouble, we do this. Just a quick snapshot of what you do. Maybe a picture, maybe a video, right? It all depends on your personal preference, but I would also consider looking into some research. Find out what other successful plumbers are doing there, and then just get the ideas and create your own. And that's kind of what I enjoy doing. I enjoy researching many different things, and then I learn, I build my knowledge, and then I try to create my own. So, homepage, you want to have, and again, if you have a picture, I always, again, it depends on the business, but I always prefer to have your own, okay? Because you want to build that know, like, and trust, right? So if somebody comes to your website and they see your picture, your team, you're going to build that connection better than if you go to a stock photography and, yes, pictures are nice, great looking people, but are you building that connection with the people? Maybe not. So that's number one. Number two, equally important is your website mobile friendly. That's huge. A while back I ran a Groupon and they provided me analytics. About 80% of the people coming to the Groupon were coming from a handheld or a tablet. Okay, so most people coming to your website are more than likely coming from a handheld or a tablet. That means you really need to have a mobile-friendly website. That's a must. Now, moving on to the next point. People come to your website, but are you capturing their information, right? So this is what we call an email opt-in. We need to create engagement. We need to build that trust. But how can we do that unless we communicate and we share? And number one way to build that trust is providing education. So try to provide something that for free that your customer would normally pay for, right? So if I'm providing some kind of consultation that normally I may charge money for, okay, I need to just get out of my comfort zone and just provide that for free and build my credibility, because there's so much competition out there and I want to build my ideal audience. So when they come to your website, try to guide them to get to the email opt-in. And that's not easy. Okay, what are you providing? What are we providing that's so much of value that someone is willing to give away their email address to you? Because we all get junk, right? So that kind of brings me to the next point, which is what we call a landing page. Okay, so what is a landing page? Most of you may have heard of it. Well, landing page is basically like a website, but it's a one-page website, less noise, right? So your regular website may have about us, testimonial, services, contact me, my office address, a lot of different pages. It may have 5, 6, 8 pages. Landing page typically has one page with a clear call to action. Now, another thing the landing page has that I want you to kind of remember, and you may already know this, which is a lead magnet. We all know what a lead is. Lead magnet is something that you want to, again, give away for free, but it's so good that your customer should be willing to pay for it, but you're giving it away for free. Okay, so in other words, what's a lead magnet? It could be a free ebook. Okay, so if you're an accountant, 5 mistakes entrepreneurs make while filing taxes, right? Now, that's something that may be valuable if you're an accountant for your customers, right? So customers may want to get that from you. Well, in order to get that, they have to give you their name, email address, maybe a phone number. You have to decide. What else may be valuable for your customer, would you say?
I think my IT lady is in the process of doing just that. We're having she's creating a lead magnet. Five things the IRS doesn't want you to know, or something like
there you
that.
go. Exactly.
It's on the landing page. They leave their name, email, and then we send it to them, and now we've captured their contact information.
Exactly. And you decide. Do you want their name, email, maybe a phone number? And people are less likely. People are very protective of their information, which rightly so. So you want to pick and choose what you want. Maybe not too much, because then people click away from that. So that's perfect. Yeah. You want to create. So in your industry, you need to think about what are some things that your customers would really, really benefit from, right? So for me, it may be 5 things, 5 essentials for a website, right? That every business owner, I can just outline it into 5 different chapters, a quick ebook, and here they have it. Even if they don't come to me as a service, I don't mind. I want them to have that information as a service, as a value, because 2 years down the road, if they have an issue with their website, I want them to remember they came to my website. Thank you. Came to my website and they got something of value. So it's not a short term, but it's a long term relationship, right? And building that credibility. So that's what a landing page is. There's a lot of information, so I don't want to cram too much into a short presentation, but to summarize, website, you get a domain name, hosting, we talked about hosting. Then we talked about your website, whether you do it on your own or you hire somebody, you should have a clear message and call to action, collect email addresses, also make sure it's mobile responsive. It's you can browse the website from your handheld, you need to test that out. Then we talked about landing page. Landing page is something that you really want to promote about yourself, but it really should be about what you do for others. It could be a short video, it could be a ebook, it could be many different things. It could even be actually a paid product, right? You could have an ebook that it's so good that somebody may pay you $10 for it. That's fine. You can put it on the landing page, right? So that's what we call passive income. Once you build that credibility and you give away free education, you may get to a point where people trust you and you can provide that higher level of product or service, and people know they're paying you $10, but they're getting value for $100, right? So it's all about being authentic, genuine, and giving a service that people can benefit from. So that's just some of the fundamentals that I thought that people could benefit from. There's so much more. There's search engine optimization, which goes into Google My Business. Then we're talking about putting social media. So I don't want to go into too much information. I think I'd rather have maybe a few questions and have a discussion. But those are the basics that I wanted to kind of provide you with.
Awesome.
Okay?
Okay.
I'll take some questions. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I just put a VSL on my website, video sales letter.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who looks at it says, way too long.
Okay.
Way too long. It's like 7 minutes.
Oh, right. Right. So,
Like, it's way too long.
well, I haven't seen it, but my feedback is.
Take a look at it.
I will.
Yeah.
Everybody says, they're like, this is correct?
So,
Yeah.
but that's a
Gotta
good
get a
point.
better tip. Yeah, gotta
So
get a
what's a
better.
good length of time for a video on a website?
Yes.
3 to 5
So
minutes.
what I would start with is a 10-second, what I call a trailer, right? So you want people to get to know you within 10 to 15 seconds, right? It's elevator speech or
Yeah.
trailer on YouTube. So once they get to know you, then bring them into a funnel, what's called a sales funnel. Then maybe 3 to 5 minute. Research is showing that people like 5-minute video for education, but not right away. You
Right.
want to start with a 10 to 15-second trailer. That's good enough to just get people in, and then bring them into the 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, the title is What to Do When You Get the Dreaded Letter from the IRS.
Right.
You know,
More to
everybody's
roll.
heart skips a beat or two when they open the mailbox.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people get it. So yes, I would
Yeah.
start with a 10 to 15 second, and then go to maybe a 5-minute at the most.
Okay.
Right.
All
But
right.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, let me know what you
Feedback.
think.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Do you do anything with AdWords?
We do. Thank you for asking. So we'll be meeting with somebody for pay-per-click. So pay-per-click, they have a studio. They provide different types of art workshops. So we'll be meeting with them this week, and they're looking at possibly pay-per-click. Now, what my team and I are going to do is research and find out, well, is that right for them? They may think that's right. Maybe they are right, but we need to do our own due diligence. So what we need to do is, that's another thing that I couldn't cover in the presentation, keywords, right? What are the keywords that your ideal customers are typing in Google to find you? So if you're a plumber in Harwood Heights,
Oh my
right,
God.
your customer here typing plumber in Chicago, so just start typing, and you will see that Google is going to give you 2 to 3 words that come up. Now those are the words that you want to try and get into your domain name, but not just to your domain name. You should have a blog, right? Blog should have those keywords, and you want to make sure that you show up higher on Google, and you cannot do that overnight, right? Google has more than 100 factors in their algorithm, and it's a secret to Google. They don't share it, but people study it and they try to create their own list. But there's so many factors, but we know one of the factors is keywords. Another one is Google My Business Reviews. So it's to me it's interesting, fascinating. I enjoy reading about it, learning about it, and share my knowledge with it. So thank you for being a great audience.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.